Good afternoon, grinders. This is your NFL SimLabs analysis for Monday, November 10th. I'm Jordan Cooper, aka BlenderHD, BlenderHD. If you want to follow me on Twitter, hit that thumbs up button on your way in the door. You know how much I like the thummy thumbs. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to always know when we go live. Remember, we got the 7:30 p.m. pre-lock show, 7:30 p.m. Eastern here for Monday Night Football. Tune in then for the expert analysis, late breaking news, inactives. I mean, we got two questionable players, right? We got Dontavian Wicks is questionable, Savion Williams is questionable. That should matter. That should matter. We'll always have the projections updated as news comes in, as well as all the sims with SimLabs. You know, running the slate out 10,000 plus times. That will get updated throughout the day. But we do have Monday Night Football with a pretty should be a competitive game. It's the Eagles at the Packers, 45.5 total, looks like. Packers are a 1.5 point favorite currently at home with a 23.5 point implied team total. Eagles 22 point implied team total. Obviously, we know the main players on today's slate. We got Hurts at 11K, Barkley 10.8K, Jacobs 10.6K, Jordan Love 10K, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. The thing about this is that even with the Packers, with so like Matthew Golden is out, and I mean from especially from a price standpoint, Kraft is out also. That both teams, I mean the Eagles more so than the Packers, have very condensed offenses. Like it's like if you take a look at our projections right now, I mean the main key players are all like 7,400, 6,200 and above. Like there's not that many. There's not any really players, cheapy players that have like any type of kind of projection. More their means are like one. Right? It's like they score a touchdown like twice a year on one target or something, something like that. So, like on today's slate, you got to find one of those guys because in order to play anyone that's going to actually score points today, you have to spend money on it, right? The highest projected player is Jalen Hurts, 19.46 in our projections from a mean standpoint, obviously. Barkley and Jacobs are right behind him at about 18. Then Jordan Love at about 16. Then AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, and Romeo Doubs, and they're between 8K and 9,200. They all have 13-point projections. Then we have a bunch of people that are between like 7 and 9, which is like Goddard at 7,400, Watson at 6,200, Musgrave at 5,400. Then the kickers, and then like Wicks, Packers defense, Eagles defense, and then it kind of like drops off a cliff, right? Jahan Dotson, 3,400, Malik Heath, 3K, Tank Bigsby, 2,800, Manuel Wilson, 2,600, Chris Brooks, 2,400, Savion Williams, 2K. Like we start getting down to the point where not many of these people are seeing the field, right? Greg Calcaterra, $600 tight end. Like, yeah, he'll see the field. Does he see a target? Oh, I don't know. Right? Emmanuel Wilson will come in and spell for Josh Jacobs, right? Maybe he sees 6 or 7 touches. Does he do anything? That really doesn't catch passes, right? Maybe he scores a touchdown. Maybe at some point. I mean, that's what I mean by like all the cheap people are really suspect. Are really like just boom or bust. Like not boom or bust, but like no one's going to score 20 points down here, barring an injury. It's a broken play, and Malik Heath for his 6 snaps on Green Bay, scores a touchdown, and he has like 8 points for 3K, and that you may need it. You may need one of these people down here. Who's that going to be? Who the hell knows, right? So most of the time, you're going to be playing the captains that are going to be played are going to be the expensive guys. We've Hurts is overowned. We have like guys. Jacobs is underowned. I mean, in comparison to Hurts, we have Barkley underowned. I'm not saying that that's the greatest of matchups. I think I'd be much more inclined to play like kind of like the mid-range guys as captains because I think we can be less owned. playing guys like Watts, like everywhere from like Musgrave to AJ Brown, like Phil, or even truthfully, even the kickers and the defenses are in play. Right? You just have to be concerned, as I say a lot of times in these videos, the cheaper captains you play, like if it's very easy to fit in. It's like, I'm going to play Packers defense as captain at 4K, and then I could just jam in like 4 of the top guys and some like mid-range person, and I'm good. I don't mind this lineup, right? You look at it and you have a good feeling about it. It's like, oh, my flex players are all, I'm pretty good. I don't have to play Will Shipley or Josh Weil or any of these, John Fitzpatrick. That's his first name. I don't even know if it's his first name, James Fitzpatrick, the 17th tight end for the Packers or whatever. You don't have to play any of those guys. Yeah, but the problem is that even if, the Packers defense is only, 1% owned in the captain spot, that still represents like 1,000 lineups. You're playing a large field contest, right? So, what do the 1,000 other lineups look like? Well, they look like your lineup. So even though you play a 1% on captain, you end up getting duplicated like 300 times for no reason. So be aware of the cheapy captains. And if you do play cheaper captain, be more inclined to leave some money on the table, just so you don't get duped as much. But I'm going to run 150 lineups here in SimLabs. Remember, you could use SimLabs even if you're not going to play 150 lineups. I can run 150 just to see what's going on, right? We could use some player filters. We could see what we want to play and what we don't want to play. We could boost some. We could lock some. We could dock some. We could exclude some. We could do whatever we want here. We could change some of the advanced settings if we want. But I use it as a research tool. I will be playing 1 to 3 lineups tonight. Like sometimes I play one. Sometimes I use SimLabs. I use it on my phone, right? We have a SimLabs app, a dedicated app, not just like a mobile browser or whatever. It has nearly all the functions. The only things you can't do is like download them and, download CSVs and sync and that type of stuff. But you're just going to enter it manually. It doesn't even matter, right? So I use the SimLabs app, and sometimes I look and I go, yep, this sounds like one good lineup. It was like, okay, I'm going to play this one. I'm going to make an executive decision. I'm going to play this guy in the captain spot. I don't want to play that guy. I think he's going to be overowned. I think this is going to be underowned. Show me the top 10 lineups that look like this, and I choose the one that I prefer the best, and that's what I play. And that's it. Sometimes I play 2 or 3. Sometimes I want to have a different configuration, and I play one of those types of lineups, and that's it. That's what I do. You can do that. You don't have to. This isn't the type of thing. Well, I'm going to manage my exposures, and It's not. This is not meant to be necessarily meant to be used like lineup HQ we have here at RotoGrinders, where you're just massaging exposures, and I'm going to have half of this and this and whatnot. You could use this purely as, if you play casually, like you could easily just use this. Just, NBA tonight. Okay, let me go check SimLabs, 15 minutes before lock and play your one lineup in your single entry contest, whatever, for whatever stakes you want. So that's what I use it for, as a research tool. You could do it throughout the day also. So let's take a look at the captain spot. We're running 150 lineups. A lot of Josh Jacobs in the captain. Overwhelmingly, 24%. Then some Barkley. Then Musgrave, Dobbs. So not as much like quarterback captain lineups. But we can see, look how many captains have shown up in 150 lineups. So everything's open to you. This isn't like some clear, from a projection standpoint, it's not like there's some clear, this guy is projected 6 points above everyone else, and you almost have to play them. Even if you're not playing him in the captain, you're playing him in the flex. Right? So we take a look at the flex ownership. Hurts is in 81%, Love is in 68%, which is expected. Typically, you're going to see both quarterbacks in a lot of the lineups, but this is a little bit under than what we would normally see. Maybe more likely to play Hurts than Love. But then we're getting a lot of kickers and defenses, right? McManus, Green Bay defense, right? But you go down here. There's still some Malik Darius Cooper, Xavier Gibson, Greg Calcaterra, John Fitzpatrick. You got to fit some cheap player in your lineup in some of these configurations. Our lineup 1 here has Emmanuel Wilson in the captain spot that's projected for like single digits. Right, but look what you could do. If you play Emmanuel Wilson in the captain, you get Hurts, Jacobs, Love, Brown, McManus. But I get all these guys. If Emmanuel Wilson has a touchdown and all these guys do well, I win. and you're duped like 147 times because anyone that's playing Emmanuel Wilson in the captain spot, which may only be 0.5% of the lineups, I mean, it's going to look something like this, right? You're able to jam in all these guys, right? Instead of playing Hurts, you play Barkley. Oh, okay. Instead of playing Jacobs, you play AJ Brown, right? Instead of AJ Brown, you play Devonta Smith, right? Instead of Brandon McManus, you're playing Dontavian Wicks, or like there aren't that many combinations anymore when you're using up most of the salary. Like if you're going to do this and then take out like Jordan Love and put in like Christian Watson there and leave 4,200, 4,700 on the table, okay. Much less likely to be duplicated. But I mean, SimLabs does rate this lineup out pretty well. But what I like doing is like, okay, I'm running 150 just to see what's going on. But I like going into the settings, going to player filters, and then just choosing what type of lineup I'm looking to play. We have Josh Jacobs as under-owned today in the captain spot. So I'm gonna lock him into the captain spot and see what these lineups look like. Right? Well, I can't lock both AJ Brown and Josh Jacobs in. So Josh Jacobs in the captain. What do these lineups look like? And maybe I'm going to make the executive decision to exclude Jordan Love in the flex. So Josh Jacobs captain, Jordan Love out of the flex. And what are these lineups? What do they look like? Okay, probably 150 takes an extra second or two. Typically I run like 20. I don't need to have all 150. Let's put in 20. Let's just run 20. I mean, obviously the first line should be the same regardless. 500 remaining, 1,100 remaining. Right here. Okay. Josh Jacobs, like something like you can play Josh Jacobs and Emmanuel Wilson together. I mean, you're just, garbage time. Hope there's this would be more unique. Right. Let's get rid of that also. Let's not play Emmanuel Wilson in these types of lineups. If Jacobs isn't the captain, doesn't mean they both can't get there, right? Jacobs can score, 2 touchdowns, 100 yards, and Emmanuel Wilson just scores like 4 points and it's still fine in this lineup. But naturally, you would think that the better Josh Jacobs does is the less that Emmanuel Wilson actually is going to be out there carrying the ball. Right, something like this. Here's 900 remaining. Jacobs and the captain. Then you get McManus, Green Bay defense, Dontavian Wicks, assuming he plays, right. And then Jalen Hurts and Devonta Smith. Done. 900 remaining. This makes sense, right? This totally makes sense. Basically, Packers control the ball, right? And then Hurts and Smith. And Smith, the Eagles still score. Hurts does well. Hurts runs one in. Smith catches one. Josh Jacobs has 2 rushing touchdowns, and Wicks goes, 4 for whatever, 50 with the touchdown, and McManus has 10 points on kicks, and Green Bay defense has some sacks or whatever. There you go, you're done. Totally playable lineup. Assuming Wicks is obviously in. All this, remember, all this changes. Wicks is out, Williams is out. Obviously, like Romeo Dobbs' projection will start going. All the other, wide receivers, all the other receivers for the Packers start going up. Then we start seeing more, like then Malik Heath, goes up, and Watson goes up, and who else is on this? Who was on the Green Bay? Who else? Darius Cooper, right? Becomes the 4th wide receiver at least, or something. Something happens, right? So obviously you have to pay attention. And when that happens, the SimLabs will be updated. I mean, it's not immediate, okay? So it's not like we'll get what? It's a 8:15 Eastern game, and you get the inactives at like 6:45 Eastern. Give it 15 minutes. Then 7 o'clock, once projections change and everything gets updated, SimLabs gets updated, and you'll be fine. But it's not like immediate. I mean, no one can work that fast, right? But we have to see. Currently, we have Williams and Wicks in the projections. But I mean, still, even these lineups have just a punt. Like even the lineups like this, you still need to find some punts. It's just that there's so few players that are that cheap. Like a lot of times we'll have like players in like the 2 to 4K range that actually project for like 5 or 6 as a mean, right? We just really don't have to. They're 2. The difference between Malik Keith and Darius Cooper is not that dramatic. It's a difference between like 0.25 and 1.5. Like it's not that huge. You can possibly win with a 0 in a lineup. Maybe. I mean, if you have to spend all the salary in order to win that way. But it's possible. So even a Darius Cooper lineup is it's viable on today's slate only because there's just so few people that are really cheap that project for anything. But here's some Josh Jacobs lineups. But let's say you wanted to do the opposite of that. Let's say you wanted to play Jordan Love in the captain, right? Let's say you want to play Jordan Love in the captain, and you wanted to make sure to play Hurts in the flex. What do these lineups look like? Because you'd have to expect that the Love captain lineups have multiple, Packers wide receivers. Right. Going to have Musgrave, Dobbs, Watson, Wicks, so whoever, right? But you still want to have Jalen Hurts in the flex. But, I mean, that takes up a lot of salary. So probably no Jacobs, no Barkley. No A.J. Brown, no Devonta Smith. Probably none of those. But we'll see. The key point of this is that you're doing this research to see what the rest of the lineup looks like. What this configuration, what does SimLabs rate as the best lineup constructions that look like this? So you can make an executive decision, choose, I want to play this type of lineup. What do they look like? Right? So we go up here. I mean, they don't rate out all that great, the Jordan Love captain lineups. I'm not saying they do, but it'll be lower owned. So Love, Musgrave, Wicks, Brandon McManus, Hurts, Brown. Love, Jacobs, Musgrave, Emmanuel Wilson, Brandon McManus. This looks a little counterintuitive, but it does fit. Right? Love, Musgrave, Wilson. Love, Musgrave, McManus, Green Bay defense. They seem all counterintuitive, but I guess they do make some sense. Right? Hurts and Barkley, Hurts and Smith. I mean, Love could score a ton of points and just spread the ball around. I mean, it is true. Well, here's one that's maybe a little bit better. Love with Hurts, Barkley, Dobbs, McManus, and then Darius Cooper. Who knows? You never know. You never know. There's one with Jacobs, Musgrave, Wicks, Wilson. None of these look all that appealing to me. Kylan Granson, you have to play in this lineup. But this is what you can do as research. You're like, oh, okay, I'm playing 3 lineups, and I don't feel like these Jordan Love captain lineups. I don't like, right? For whatever reason, you don't like them, so you can find a different configuration. Take a look at what Hurts captain lineups look like. Take a look at what Brandon McManus captain lineups look like. You could do this all in SimLabs, which is part of our SimLabs Plus package, right? You get full access to SimLabs for a four major sports going on right now. You got PGA, right? That's once a week. MLB, which come back next year. But we got NBA also. So like every day for NBA, all the NBA slates, you could run SimLabs for. NFL, obviously all the slates, you can run NFL. I mean, Thursday night football, Saturday games, the island, London, they're in London or in Germany. They got the early 9:30 a.m. game. We got Showdown. We got FanDuel. We got stuff like that. So it's not just like the main slate, which you can do. You can do afternoon only, the afternoon only SimLabs. You can do that if you want. So you get it for the 4 major sports. You get access to our research tools like Gridiron IQ for football, Court IQ for basketball, right? Weather Edge for anything, any outdoor sport. And then all of our premium written content like the expert surveys and the consensus value rankings, all that type of stuff. For the 4 major sports with our SimLabs Plus package, it's our cheapest one. I think it's way too cheap. It's a great tool that unless you don't have to go build 150 lineups, you don't have to do export CSVs, you don't have to do any of that. Although you can, but for one low price. Get the Combo Pro if you want everything. You want all the sports, all the everything, all the prop projections, and you want all of that stuff. That's Combo Pro. I still think that's even too cheap for what you get out of it. So click on the link in the description, and you get all the information on that. But yeah, hit that thumbs up button on your way out the door. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And remember, 7:30 p.m. Eastern for the pre-lock show tonight. Hit that notification bell to always know when we go live, and I'll be back later in the week for some more NFL SimLabs analysis here at RotoGrinders.com.